Alright guys, welcome back to PHPRad front-end development. We are using blog as a case study for long now, and we have been able to do this. We started from our navbar and we ended at the blog list, which is in grid form. And today's tutorial we are coming to look at how to design our view page. So to get started, first of all, I want you to locate the article, because we couldn't use this blog view page. Rather, we use this article view page. But nevertheless, because the blog table of content, we got it from this article. They are all the same thing. They are coming from the same table. So, and because of that, we linked most of our links that we have in banner. Whenever it comes to view, we link them to articles view. So we come over to articles and we locate the view page. Then we just go to the design. Okay, once we have gotten to this design, I want you to simply remove this thing and preview the work. Alright, it's working, therefore we are at the right place. There's another thing I want you to do. I want you to quickly come over to this blog and create a new page. This page should be list. Remove this, make sure this is unchecked. Then you call it SM list 2. This is going to be our suggestion page. You know, when we are viewing a blog, we should have something like another suggestion, related articles you may like to read, and that's what this SM list 2 is coming to do. We want to make this SM list to be a grid. We want to make this thing 12. We want to remove this animated and make it deflex, and we want to remove this display label display to be none. We want to remove this guy, no record found. We want to make sure to remove it, and we want to go down. But first of all, let's go up. Make sure that this page, we are going to use Ajax page for this. I'm going to explain as we move on. So once we have enabled our Ajax page, we'll come over here to limit record. We want to make it something like 3. I'll show you later. Then we want to uncheck all the buttons. We want to make sure that no button is showing. And again, we move down to pagination settings. We come over here and click load more buttons. That's what the one we want. Then we're almost done. Okay, we come over to this tag. We don't want to have it. We come over to this update. We don't want to have it. Date created, we don't want to have it. Publisher, we don't want to have it. Article, we don't want to have it as well. IMG, we want it to be on the top, and headline, want it to be here. Then this one, we don't want to have it. The IMG, we want to set it to images, and the size of the IMG, we want to set it to none. So just type this double quote inside and remove this size. Then also we want to have this one there. Say okay. Oh my god. Alright, just put 0 there, but we will definitely invalid. Oh my god. Then we make it 50, but definitely we are coming to remove this. Alright, so having done that, we just go to our custom, edit it, zoom. We want to zoom this so that everybody will be able to see it while we are coding. Alright, so over here we have added deflex, and this is our image we added. Let me make it a bit friendly so that you will understand what is going on here. So that is the image here, and this guy is the headline, and this guy is the headline. I can tell you that we are almost done, but I want you to just remove this guy and just enter this double quote inside. Remove this guy as well, enter the double quote inside, put a comma here. Inside here we want to articles / view / record ID, and I want you to, whenever you type record ID, make sure you have defined the record ID over here. by just simply making it ID and come over inside here again and make it ID. Then we'll move down to the second double quote we added. Inside there we want to have an img. We just want to say rounded, and we want to just say fluid, and or we can simply remove the fluid. The rounded is okay for us. And over here we want to a class and test dark. I want to be very fast. We can say test dark, test capitalize, small, and once you say small, you can say bold, and you can just cut this thing, copy it and V here. Then we can go further and say MB3, and we can come down here and do our div class, and inside this div class we are coming to have span class test primary, and we want it to be small as well, and we can just V, but here we don't want to have the headline, we want to have the tag, and again we want to have some space, MBSP, and we want the space, if you like V, you can just simply omit it. So we are coming to copy this thing and paste it again, and over here we want to make it muted because this guy is going to be date created. Alright, so at this point I can say that we're almost done, just that we need to add some something like this to differentiate what we are doing. Alright guys, at this point we would like to view what we are doing, so just quickly go to articles, go to your view, click it, design, then come over here and add something. You are coming to add a new colon, add another new colon, add another new colon. Make sure there are 3. Then the first one, this one is housing the title already, so this one we house the image, and the image want it to be LG 8 and 12 and order of 1. Then we can do the same thing here where we say LG the remaining of 8, therefore 8 minus 12 minus 8, that is 4, which is LG 4 12 and 12, and the order will be, the order by default will be 4, but the order on MD list will be 2. Order on MD will be 2. Then we move forward to this guy. The SM12 is okay, but we want to make the order to be 4. Want to make the order to be 3. Alright, so we can quickly add a margin to all of them. MB3, add this guy again, MB3, same with this guy, MB3. So inside this guy is where we are coming to have the image. Then inside this LG4 is where we are coming to have the blog SM list 2 we just created, which is going to be our suggestions. So we drag it and drop it over here, and we don't want to see the header, but the show footer and show pagination, we don't want to tamper with it. And the page limit is stable, we want to remove it from here. We want this page to be blank. All right, so we view it to see what we get. All right, you can see we are getting something here, and this is what we have created. Remember, we typed this thing, we said test primary, we give some spacing here, and we give this slash, and also we render this page date. Then we want to give some padding, all right? But before that, before we do that, we want this guy to have a BG of white, so that what we are doing will be, you know, the background will be white and kind of very nice. Then we come over to the block SM list to edit it, and over here we want to give this guy this BG light. If you like, you can remove it from BG light and just give it border, but I want to have mine BG light. That means background of light. Then we want the border to be rounded, and also coming to this guy, we want the PX to be 3, and what else are we missing? All right, preview it. As you can see, the background is white. Now we have some card around, we have our spots, we have our date. We can uncheck this thing, come over to date created. We like to make a relative date, okay? Then check it again, and we would like to give this guy space, empty 2. Empty 2 means margin top to be 2, and review it. Alright guys, I'm sure you can see it, but you can see this our Ajax page. Let's check if it's working. It's actually working. But another thing we want to do is we want to, well, let's keep going. I think we can do those ones later. So inside here, this code 8, we give a header view. Then inside the header view, we are coming to do this thing V on Zulu. We just want all right, no problem. Let's type it: PHP HTML PHIMG PHIMG, and inside this PHIMG we want to start with data, the data which is the IMG, the image, and what am I doing? The image, and we want the width to be 1800, and want the height to be 1000. We want the number of images to be 1. We also want to link it, but it's not of our interest now. We want to have this, which we say rounded, and it's good to give it a shadow now because it's a view page, so that it will stand out. We make it a shadow. Alright, so we are done with this guy, and moving forward on top here, we can do something. We can say Ctrl Z, but what we'll do here is we'll remove this guy and we'll say echo, and also we remove all these guys, and we'll have this. We say echo data. What we want to echo here is the headline. That's what we want to echo, headline, and but we want them to be grouped, so we say div class want the class, and h1 class, which is bold, and inside that we have this X, we paste it here, V. Then we'll come down here and we have our HR, which is actually a line. We have our div class, and we say V. Inside this div class, we want to have this thing to be date created, and we want to say published on, published on, then our date, but we want the date to have some kind of bold like stuff. Okay, then this B, we do the thing published on date created. Then we'll move down to, we can quickly copy this thing, copy V. Then this guy is published by, or probably published by your blog, but this is reported, not published. The person who reported this reported by, you can say publisher, publisher. Remember, we have a field called publisher. Don't just think that I just added publisher there and it's working. You have to create the field when you are making your table, or you can name it anything and come over here and type the name you named, the name of the field. Okay, then finally we want to have our HR again, and this guy we want it to have a margin on y axis of 3, and then we can say alright, we preview it. As you guys can see, we are having our image, but it has covered the entire thing. That means the image isn't responsive. We come over here to where we have our image. We type something. We can type something like fluid inside here. Then we will create a class for the fluid where we say style, and say dot fluid. If you have seen me doing this thing, you know actually what I'm coming to do. You just give it a height of 100% and also a width of 100%, and okay, you can preview it. As you can see, our image is now responsive to, and you can notice the shadow. Our image is now responsive, but our date isn't the way we want it to look like. We want this date to give us a relative date. So come over to this view page and make it human date and time, and over to this date make it also human date and time. And oh my god, no, I'm talking of article. It has to be articles view, date created, field format, human date and time, then you preview. Alright, so we get 2nd August, which is exactly what we want. Moving down, seems like these guys are big. It's because of we made this div. You can make it D5 or probably, yeah, make it H4 is okay. H4 is okay. H4 is okay. Is big but not that big. So over here we don't want to see this thing again, and we want to have our article down there. So what we can do is just come over here and set this thing to false, include page, make it false, and you come down to our last column and you add this guy there. I'm sure by now you know what we are coming to do. You can equally do this guy. We can see what we have in our, so I can equally do this thing and take this guy off. So over here we have dates created. We want to be article, and make sure the article, we can give it a pattern of 3. Okay, view. Alright, you can see our article lying down there. So we don't want to have this line. We can come to our blog SM list, which is the suggestions, and we can come over here, move down here to where we have border top, remove it, and you can, let me show you something. What is important is this button. So you can cut the button. Okay, you can simply cut this X and locate this thing on top. After empty, locate it, collapse it and delete it, paste what you have copied from the other side, and make this thing BG light, BG. So it's now looking more like Google like stuff, and it still works. Alright, but we are reading something about business. We would like to have suggestions. That is more of business. Okay, so we come to this guy, we move on top here, and we go to tag and we make it tag. So we filter them by tag and want the value to be also tag. All right, so on top we also want to give it a header, and this guy will say more of PHP echo data tag. Let's view it so that you won't get confused. I said more of PHP echo data tag. So whatever tag the article is will be written here. If the article is business, it will write more of business. Okay, we go up here, and this tag is very important to us, so we copy it. We can come over here again, and on our header where we have published on, then we have reported by. We may like the top, copy V. We may like to have something like category, to have something like this, category. We place our tag here. All right, so that we can have something like this, category business. And now our suggestion will give you only business suggestions. You won't see sports thing again, because we are reading something about business. So when we go back to our blog and we want to read this, so this is the category of this article is sports, so it's going to show you sports suggestions, because that's probably the next thing you may like to read. You want to make this thing bold and text muted, bold, text muted, MB3, and we preview. Alright guys, we are going to call it a day. As you can see, we have gotten somewhere. In our next tutorial, we are going to look at how to make the comment section, and we are done. Thank you so much. Please like, share. The link for this video, or the code for this video, will be made available very soon. I just want to make sure that you guys are trying your hands on it, but it doesn't matter. I'll just make the code available, please.